I'd like to introduce Kevin Scarrett from Acorn Creative. Kevin is a social media junkie and the chief nut at Acorn Creative. So welcome, Kevin. Really appreciate you coming out tonight and making this presentation.
So yeah, that is my official title, and the very first time I pushed the button on that outgoing email. Let me get a show of hands. This is the very first time I've ever done a presentation to people who are just in this industry. And so I had to take, I've done a similar form of this presentation probably 4 or 5 times, and I really have to dumb it down. I know, I don't want to disparage business owners, but they really don't get social media at all. So this is the first time I've ever talked to a group where you guys probably understand this stuff way better than I do from a technology perspective in a lot of ways, and I'll probably be preaching to the choir in a lot of ways. But so let me get a show of hands here. How many people consider themselves to be designers? And how many people are coders? And how many people are both? And how many people are wordsmith or content strategists as part of their development? And how many people are user interface pros? And these are all different flavors of our world, right? Okay, how many people are social media experts? Yay! Okay, okay. So I guess the discussion is really what is this thing and why is it important to us as web developers? Let me give you my background. I started Acorn Creative in Northern California about 12 and a half years ago, and started out as a small solopreneur web developer, and my background was in business. It wasn't in design, it was in coding. Everything was self-taught. The very first website I designed was in 1994. It was about 3 months after Mosaic came out. And so I'm a dinosaur when I deal with the web stuff. I'm not a coder, I'm not a designer, I'm really not anything. I'm a business guy. And so what I found when I started the company is it was really easy to sell services if you keep your client's success in mind and then figure out how to deliver the services later. And so the first 3 or 4 years of my business, people were just being introduced to the web, and so, well, okay, we'll build websites for you. And then as their marketing plans and their online business strategies started to evolve, we figured out, well, the websites that we created are better looking than most, but they're not terribly functional, and it's not like they're really marketing very well. And what I was finding is that most people had brand problems. So we added formal brand strategy services. And then in the last 2 years, as the world of marketing has changed, and that's really the primary point of the discussion now here is that traditional media, radio, TV, newspaper, yellow pages, direct mail, all that stuff, the ROI of that stuff is just going right into the toilet, and people are scrambling to try to figure out what they're going to do about that. So what we've added in the last 2 years is the technology side of social media development and social media marketing consulting. So that's kind of how our company has evolved, adding on all these new services because we're trying to make our clients successful. Okay? So yeah, all the kids are doing it. Okay, so let me talk a little. So I started this here. Traditional media versus social. What's the difference? Traditional media is pretty much anything that you can think of you're trying to sell something to someone else. So just tell me what you guys do in your own marketing. How do you guys market yourself? Someone just tell me.
Webpage.
Your website, of course. Okay. On your website, you talk about the services that you provide.
Yes.
Okay. And I should have asked you to do the internet connection here, but okay. So if you read your own website, and as you read the copy on your homepage, and you say to yourself, "This webpage is all about me," then you're making a mistake. It should be all about them. So instead of saying, "We provide these services, we have X number of years of experience in providing blah 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 blah," just take the we's out and swap them out with you. You will get the benefit of our expertise. Your company will get blah blah blah. Right? So turning it around, by doing that, it takes you away from selling yourself and talking about what the person needs. In so traditional media, it's all structured around me selling my crap. And how many people want to get crap sold to them? No one. Okay, why is TiVo so successful?
Blocks the ads.
Blocks the ads. How many billboards do you really critically as you're driving down the road? You're blocking it out. And what is happening is we are so inundated with sales messages, we're fed up. We're fed up. So the return on investment on traditional advertising is changing the way that businesses interact with their clients. So what is the difference between social media, social networking, Web 2.0? You know, you start looking at the jargon. You guys all know stuff. We'll skip over that. Just understand that businesses have to learn to adapt to this new way of thinking. And there is I always give lots of resources and lots of things. I'm going to be referring to some books later. But the best book is actually written by a local person. I think he lives within probably about 10 miles from here. And you'll see the book in a little bit. But the name of the book is The New Rules of Marketing and PR. Author's name is David Scott. David Scott. Awesome, awesome book. If your clients are having any struggles with traditional media, then have them read that book. And go, oh, I get it now. I get it. And then it'll switch them over to a much more content-centric, social, relationship-building, non-selling form of marketing. And that benefits you. Okay, that's really why we're here, is to find out what we need to do as business owners, right? Okay, so everybody stand up. Let's find out what you guys are doing. Okay. Please stay standing if you have a MySpace page. Okay, stand back. That's too big of a hit. Facebook.
Okay, now you're talking.
Okay. Stay standing if you have a LinkedIn page.
Can I stand up again?
Stand back up again?
This is in order. Okay? Stay standing if you have a Twitter account. Stay standing if you have a blog. Stay standing if you have posted or tweeted in the last month. Okay. Stay standing if you subscribe to other sites via RSS. Okay. Karen, you are the winner. This was the outfit that Britney Spears wore at the music awards. Actually, it's a knee brace.
Let me go
No.
put it on.
It's a water bottle with my logo on it.
Water bottle
It's a
jacket.
water bottle jacket.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so Karen is our most social person. The other questions would be bookmarking, podcasts,
Fun.
wikis, social networks, and then if people were still standing, I'd ask, how much was Bebo sold to AOL for in March of 2008? That's the final filter. And anyone want to take a guess? Social network. Husband and wife in Europe started Bebo about 2 years ago, and they sold it to AOL last March.
They sold it for $25 million.
$850 million.
Ooh, that's close.
Okay. So we're gonna get some more stats here to wow you on social media, and it's a big deal. Okay, so here's the new paradigm. These are my 5 must-reads. All business owners should read them, and especially if you have any discussions with any clients in any capacity, in any way, shape, or form about marketing and social media and all that stuff. Yes?
Are these on your LinkedIn preferred books list?
I talk about them all the time, and I was asked to create a post on that exactly, and I still haven't.
Because on Amazon, there's an application.
Yeah, and Facebook as well. It's in my Facebook book list, but I haven't done it in Amazon yet, which would be another way
Are
of
you going to
social.
post these? I'm just wondering how I can keep this.
I'll send you the slides if
Okay.
you so choose. I'll be happy to do that. Okay, this is the book I was referring to, New Rules of Marketing, PR. Naked Conversations, great book by Robert Scoble on blogging. The Long Tail by Chris Anderson, who is the executive editor of Wired Magazine, all about the impact of search and the statistics of things on the internet. Groundswell by Charlene Lee and Josh Burnoff. They are monkey mucks at Forrester Research, and it's all about this whole societal shift that we're seeing and undergoing. How the internet and social media are changing how businesses interact with their clients. Wikinomics is the power of online collaboration and the ideas of mass networking and how they affect business operations. And Citizens Marketer by Ben McConnell and Jack Kuba, which is all about the impact of social media and interacting real people as opposed